Welcome back to Cooking with Oscar. Today we're going to make a sandwich. Why are we devoting a whole episode to making a sandwich? Because it's a very special sandwich for anyone who's from Peru. And as you know, my family is from Peru. So this sandwich is called a triple, which is the word triple in Spanish. It's written exactly the same way, but it's pronounced triple. So a triple can be made in a variety of ways, but the classical formulation is a triple-decker sandwich with sliced tomatoes in the middle, sliced avocado on the top, and on the bottom, sliced hard-boiled eggs, or any other orientation that you like. There are variations with chicken, with sliced peaches, believe it or not, but the classic triple is the one that we're going to prepare right now. We'll start here with the basic ingredients. Obviously bread. I'll get to the bread in a second. You need tomatoes, you need the avocado, and you need the hard-boiled eggs. I just did a video on how to cook hard-boiled eggs so that they're easily peeled. It's a foolproof method, and if you haven't seen it, I urge you to watch it if you've ever had to go through the agonizing process of peeling a hard-boiled egg and having it fall apart in your hands. And then, of course, we're going to have a little lemon juice, and I'll show you what the lemon juice is going to be for. Here in the U.S., if you can get your hands on Florida key limes, this is a type of lime that most closely resembles the lemons, limones that they have in Peru. So the taste is very similar. And then we have mayonnaise. Does this look like a lot of mayonnaise? Yeah, Peruvians love mayonnaise in their sandwich. Love it. The only people that I know that are more excessive when it comes to mayonnaise than the Peruvians are probably the Russians. Having visited Russia, I will tell you, Russians love their mayonnaise. I'm going to start with a photo of the completed sandwich so you see where we're going with this, and it should be somewhere down here that you can see it. As you can see, it's a sandwich. It's a triple layer sandwich, so it requires a lot of bread. And in order not to overload the sandwich with bread, I like to use this bread. It's Pepperidge Farm, very thin white bread, okay? Because you can put 4 of these slices of bread together and you get basically the equivalent of 2 regular slices of white bread. All right, we're gonna start with tomatoes. Hopefully some beautiful red ripe tomatoes. It's not easy to find, ones that aren't mealy. Slicing overripe tomatoes is one of the challenges that you can put your knife to, and hopefully it will be up to the challenge. My knives are past the point where they need to be professionally sharpened, so I do the best I can, but I'm definitely going to have them professionally sharpened soon. So what I like to do is to get the tomato. So how thick would you say that is, Ray?
Pretty thick.
Yeah.
That's as thick as you want.
Yeah, this is as thick as it's going to be. Maybe that's 1/4 of an inch.
No more than that. Right.
Could be a little bit thinner. So we're slicing them up. We're putting them on a plate because you're not going to put these tomato slices in your sandwich, God forbid, without dressing them first. So you need to put a little salt and pepper on them and let them sit. And the salt will help drive out some of the water from the tomato and won't make your sandwich, the tomatoes hopefully will not make your sandwich too soggy. That being said, there's a lot of mayonnaise, and between the mayonnaise and the avocado and the tomato, this sandwich can get soggy fairly quickly. So it's not a sandwich you want to prepare and hold on to for a long time. It's a sandwich you want to prepare and serve. A little sea salt is a good thing. I'll do what I always do when I need to put salt on something. I put it in my hand first because I don't trust shakers. I'd rather be able to use my fingers to measure out relatively much more precise amounts than you can using a shaker. So you can slap this sandwich together, but I really like doing a good job with it. So I take my time and I do these little steps like salt, like dressing the tomatoes, I think quite a few people probably wouldn't bother. We're going to need some lemon juice, some fresh lemon juice. Not a lot, 2 or 3 lemons worth. And you're going to see why in a moment. Just a little bit. You see, that's all we need. We don't need more than that. The next step, the avocados. These are from Mexico. These are Hass avocados from Mexico. Here in the U.S., you can buy Hass avocados cultivated and grown in Peru, and those are the best avocados in the world. There's no disputing that. Okay, so we're going to slice the avocado. First, we're going to rinse them. I think it's always a good idea to rinse and to wash the fruit that you cut into, because you're cutting through the skin, and your knife could carry, if there's any bacteria on the surface, your knife could carry that bacteria into the fruit. So take a moment and rinse the outside of the fruit, or in this case the vegetable. So we're doing this very carefully, circumscribing the pit, rotating it, being very careful, because it could slip in your hands. So don't put a lot of pressure on the knife. If it does slip, you won't cut yourself. All right, that's a good looking avocado there. Let's get rid of the pit. We're going to use the Raymond Dobbins method. There you go. If you want to be able to slice it easily, slice it when it still has the skin on it, just like this. So you want like 1/4 inch slices of avocado, and then you peel off the skin, hopefully in one piece. Hopefully without making too big of a mess of it. Okay, and there you go. Now we spread these out. And what these need immediately, if not sooner, is a bit of lemon juice to keep them from going brown, because nobody likes brown avocados. I'm told that it doesn't really affect the taste, the fact that they oxidize so quickly, but I really don't like the way they look. All right, so we're almost done with this. We're just about done with preparing the avocado. You'll notice a little more lemon juice, the juice of Florida key limes to be precise. Okay, the next step, to get all of our ingredients together, is to slice up the hard-boiled eggs. Nothing easier than one of these wire slicers. This process of laying all your ingredients out, having them all ready to assemble, is the French call it mise en place, everything in its place, and it's really the only way of doing it. So to slice these eggs, I put them in lengthwise. It's one of these little wire cutters you can get at Bed Bath & Beyond for like, I don't know, $5. And it's perfect, right? We'll just lay it there until we need it. Slice up the rest of these bad boys. You know, if I'm going to do this for a party, make triples for a party, I would usually make my own mayonnaise because I just think it tastes better than store-bought mayonnaise. I don't have time for that today, so the next best thing is just a good quality mayonnaise. I like Duke's because it tastes very authentic from what I remembered. Mayonnaise, my homemade mayonnaise is, but I can do a little something to a bowl full of Duke's and just add a little bit of lemon juice to it and add a little bit more salt to it, and that will make it virtually indistinguishable from the mayonnaise that you would get in a restaurant in Peru, in my opinion. Just a little bit of salt. Mix it up. It would also make it, for some reason, makes it more creamier, more homogeneous. That little bit of lemon, that touch of lemon in mayonnaise is very much a Peruvian touch. You know, it's definitely the way mayonnaise tastes. It will taste just like that. Okay, time for the bread. So let's get it out. I already took the end piece out. I'm gonna leave these out to the side too. I want bread slices that are roughly uniform in size. Okay, now you're gonna need 4 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 slices of bread to make one complete triple sandwich. So you can, however much room you have from side to side, you could make as many sandwiches as you have ingredients for. In this case, I'm going to make 4 sandwiches. So I have a plastic liner here on this wooden counter in case you're not seeing it. So I'm not actually slapping the bread down on the counter. And then once we have the bread laid out, we can begin the assembly process, which will take really a shameful amount of mayonnaise to complete. Before I make the sandwiches, one last step, which I think I overlooked. Thankfully, Ray pointed it out to me. You need to hit this up, the avocado up with a little bit of salt too, to go with the lemon. It doesn't really need pepper. I think the pepper is going to interfere with the flavor of the avocado, but definitely you could use a little bit of salt. Here we go with the mayonnaise. I use a spatula so I can get a lot on there. Okay, don't go away, we're going to need you. So what I will do sometimes, just because it's easier, is I will slice a tomato in half. This tomato's a little firm. And I have a clean edge, right? To put the tomato in. How do you think? So like that. You see, it's these little tips and tricks that you're not going to learn unless you watch my videos that make the difference in making this sandwich. So now we take some of our pre-mayonnaised bread and we flip it over. So mayonnaise on this side, mayonnaise underneath there. Right? And then what do? We put more mayonnaise on it. Yes, we do. Now we're ready for the next layer, which in this case will be some of these delicious, delicious slices of avocado. In most of the Spanish-speaking world, avocado is, the word for avocado is aguacate. In Peru, we use a different word. We use the word palta. Palta is a Quechua word. Quechua is the language of the Incas. And there's still many places in Peru where Quechua is spoken. My mom knows a few words of Quechua and she's constantly tormenting us, wanting us to know what different words mean. Do you know what is the one she likes? Arequipai means? Do you know what Pachamama means?
Causa.
Causa, yes. There is one authentic Quechua word that has made it to the English language, and I'll tell you which one it is. In Peru, the Incas would take meat from the animals that they ate, which honestly also included alpacas, you know, those pack animals. They would slaughter them and they would slice up the meat thinly, and then they would leave the meat at very high altitudes to be freeze dried. They would they would let it freeze. They would drive out the moisture. They'd let it dry again. That's freeze drying. And they would take that meat. That meat would be able to be used for months afterwards. It was a way of preserving the meat and you could also put some in a bag and take it with you when if you were traveling in a long way. You would take this freeze-dried meat, tough, stringy, but edible and nourishing. And the Quechua word for that is charqui. That method of preparing meat that way was eventually made its way up north into North America, and the word became jerky. Charqui, jerky, same thing. So when you eat, the next time you stop in 7-Eleven and buy a bag of beef jerky, remember you have the Incas to thank for it. I love hard-boiled egg slices in sandwiches. So don't stint. Lay them on there, thick. Don't say you made this sandwich my way unless you make it with a lot of, I'm not going to say overstuffed, because I don't think overstuffed is good either, but don't be stingy with the ingredients. Don't be stingy with the avocado, don't be stingy with the eggs. And we're back with the with the hard-boiled egg. Why? Because quality control, in this case Ray Dobbins, reminded me that I forgot to put the salt and pepper on the eggs like I said I was going to do. So there's no going back. I got to stop and do that. So
Not
just
on my watch.
so I pulled off the slice. It's no big deal. We can fix this. We can fix this right now. Not too much, just a little bit. And of course some pepper. Really the last step now is to cut off the crust and to cut the sandwich in its traditional diagonal presentation. Yeah, we're going to cut off these crusts, and yeah, it may seem wasteful. Get over it, you know. What you can do is, as you cut them off, you can eat them. Ah, that's a beautiful thing. If you've never had one of these sandwiches, you're in for a treat. It really is super delicious. And there you have it. If there's a Peruvian in your life and you want to make them happy, make them a plate full of these sandwiches. We've already got some things in the works now that we're in our new kitchen, so we'll be back with more videos, and we hope that you'll join us.